balcony of my home. I want to show you guys first, I want to show you my plants. So these are a mix of a bunch of different seeds. I can't tell you honestly what they all are, but some of these are moringa seeds. And what's so exciting about this, I'm sorry, like I got out of bed, I rolled out of bed, and I came right here and I was listening to Professor Melanie because she was speaking straight to my spirit, as she does to all of our spirits, I'm sure. Um, and then I was thinking about it, and I was looking at my plants too because they've just completely bloomed and blossomed, and I'm learning so many lessons already because for one, like I definitely crowd their space. I need to I want to next time I'm going to space out the seeds a little bit more, be a little more intentional about that. But ultimately I'm really proud of what they've grown to become. And they're all lessons learned, but I think it's very exciting what's going on over there. I'll just I'll just go and show you. But I wanted to show you. I want to talk about the moringa seed specifically because but I'll show you. So in here, these are ones where I've started them a little bit later. So I think that's literally a moringa seed as well, and I don't know what this one is. I have no idea. We'll have to see when they sprout and flower. That's the only way I'll be able to tell. I don't know what this is. This might be the same as this. This could be, I don't know if it's chamomile. It could be sage. I really don't know what it is. Then we have over here, that's chard. So that's growing over there. Then we've got over here, I don't know, girl. I don't know what this is. I don't know what this is. I don't know. This I think is echinacea. They're growing their little bulbs. Look at these ones. They're huge. This is chamomile, I'm pretty sure. This might be calendula. That might be calendula because I don't know what else it would be. So I'm thinking that might be calendula. But yeah, I want to show you the plants. I planted these in the beginning of June, and then I planted these moringa seeds. I got these moringa seeds a couple weeks ago, and typically they say moringa doesn't grow here, but girl, it looks like they do. It looks like it does, which is exciting because not me growing some plants that are Jamaican, that's really exciting, I think. And I have some more seeds. I have a compost bucket, over there. That's my little compost bucket. I've added coffee grounds that Starbucks was giving away to that. I've added some plants that I actually meant to use to make something, but I got distracted. I can do that later. But yeah, I added coffee grounds and whatever. But Miss Professor Melanie was talking about, I want to show you guys the plants while we're talking. She was talking about having faith and trusting being the most important part of the spiritual journey. And I was thinking, because last night I was in a whole emotional bout over finances, that for me is the biggest thing, and I'm sure that that's kind of the common thing for a lot of people. But when it comes to testing my faith, it's money. It's money that consistently tests my faith. And I'm in a interesting predicament because I grew up in the States, really. So I never had the opportunity to get a job. And I'm a Capricorn South Node. So work has always been a significant thing to me to have a handle on. I never like to feel like there's something that I'm not in control of when it comes to that, and feeling like I need to be helped by other people and things like that. I like to be independent. And I had a lot of that when I was younger. Like I would get an allowance and we didn't get like a weekly allowance, but whenever my mom did give us money, I would somehow like have that saved and then triple it and then go and shop. And like, I don't know, I just somehow made something out of nothing with the money that I would have. So it's always been a thing for me. And then coming to Canada, the summer that I came here, I got a job, first time being able to work legally. And then I've been working ever since. And then really, this is the longest I've ever been unemployed. And it's going to be coming up on about a year of unemployment. And just like getting money through side jobs like babysitting and like my readings. And that's basically it. So, and like government, like checks and random things that just come through. So that's been like, it's been a test. And this time last year, I had gotten a job after not being without a job for a couple of months. And I left that job a couple of months later. And I'm very aware of the fact that I'm very aware of my feelings. And it's strange because part of me feels like I'm not feeling anything at all. And the other part of me is just understanding that I'm not feeling the anxiety that I feel like I should be feeling. Or I'm not having emotional reactions that I feel like I should be having. And I noticed that based off of how my body feels. Like when I'll be in a circumstance, in a situation, and I can't help but kind of reference my body at this point when it comes to what I feel, and how I react to know like what I'm really thinking versus what my mind is telling me that I'm thinking. Most of the time, my body is completely relaxed and completely calm. Um, and that is kind of scary to me because I'm like, maybe there's something wrong with your body, like maybe you're like a little numb and like you need to wake up or something. But I don't think it's that. I think it's just that my body has gotten somewhere that my mind hasn't. And I feel like because my body's been on cleanses for these past few years. I mean, I stopped eating chicken, I stopped eating beef. I've been really trimming down dairy and just trying to be more vegan-ish as much as I can and just be healthier overall. So, and like less sugar, all of that. So my body's been on her own journey, and through that she's gotten a lot of clarity. um, and so I think that her reactions and the way that she feels now, she feels like only when she wants to versus just feeling all the time, which is strange for me because it also like makes me question my identity as like a cancer and like all these things. But I don't know, faith is a huge thing right now. Like I made a video a couple of maybe like a week ago or maybe even a week or two ago talking about how like we shouldn't be listening to what they say can grow in certain areas and what they say can't grow in certain areas because the planet is changing, and it also totally depends on your own capabilities and the type of environment that you can create. And moringa is one of those seeds that really shouldn't be sprouting over here and can't, at least not in Toronto. I don't think it's just not one of the growing zones. That's what they say. And yet, and it took a while. Like I got these seeds a while ago and I planted them and there's nothing really happening, and I've moved them around and I've done a bunch of things. But now all of a sudden they're growing, and we have gotten a lot of really nice sun recently. So the sun has been super, super helpful in just kind of sprouting these out of the soil, out of the ground. But yeah, and this whole like planting journey has been funny because for a while I wasn't really paying attention to them. I didn't really care. Like I cared, but they were so small, they were just babies that there's nothing for me to do. So I just kind of was watching them every so often. And I started them in like a little greenhouse container, and some of them I had to throw out. Like, so it's been a little bit of a journey, and I've been busy with other things, with life. But now they're just like completely living a life of their own, and I'm so excited for them, and I want to see them flower. And now I'm like all in their business, checking in on them, watching them. and it just makes me happy. And now I'm like watching these ones, and you can see all the tiny, tiny, tiny little plant babies that are sprouting up too. And I don't know, the process is just so exciting, and it's kind of helping me understand a little bit of what I really value and what I think is what makes me happy, what makes me excited. I know that the work that I want to do, I think I want to do work that is in connection, like, to land in a tangible way. I know that I like watching the earth. I love watching the earth thrive. I love watching things grow, and that's something that means a lot to me. I know that I like to create and be a part of the creation process, but I don't want to do it all on my own. And one of the things that I really love about gardening, that I'm learning that I really like about gardening, is that it's not completely hands-on. Like, it's kind of hands-off, but you get to watch them grow. You have to do the beginning parts. You have to make sure they're okay. You have to water them. You have to check in on them. But ultimately, they take on a life of their own, and they take care of themselves, and you get to watch the earth do what the earth does. You get to watch life do what life does. And I think that that's a beautiful process that I really appreciate. I feel like some of my plants, I feel like they're teenagers now, like heading into like adulthood. Like, they might even be like in their 20s, and it's kind of like I just get to watch, and there's nothing for me to do. Like, I water them, I make sure, I hope for the sun to come out, but ultimately, they're taking on a life of their own. And I recognize that I have a level of detachment that I actually think is quite healthy, even though I've had this thing around being like, oh, I need to become more attached. But I don't know, like, I think I do need to become more attached in some ways, but I think ultimately I've just developed a pretty healthy understanding of that things are going to happen the way they're going to happen. And that I can only do so much, and I can only control so much, and whatever doesn't work out perhaps was not meant to work out, or worked out exactly as it was supposed to, and I did what I need to do, and now that thing is moving on and doing its own thing, and that's just life. And I'm trying to, I think, maybe honor that experience rather than villainize it so much, because it's actually served me well. And yeah, and these moringa seeds, I feel like they're a great symbol of what's happening right now. Things are growing where we thought they couldn't grow. Things are happening that we thought couldn't happen, and all it took was some time and some patience and some space, some separation. But you had to plant the seed, you had to go out and get the seeds, you had to experiment, you had to follow promptings. I wouldn't have even known about moringa had I not seen an ad about it, and had I not taken a clipping of that ad because I was having an eczema reaction. You can see my neck. And I've been going through trials with my skin and with my health overall, but it's pushed me to start gardening. And now that I've started gardening, like, I've been trying to identify native species and learn about the plants that are surrounding me. And now I've got my own little medicinal garden growing. And even if none of these plants work out, I know that I do know how to garden. I know that I like this process, and that I'll do it again, and that I'll try again. And I have food plant seeds that I want to go start to work, but I am waiting. What I'm waiting on is space, because they're like it's like squash and things like that, and I'm just like, ooh, do I have enough space for that? I don't feel like I do, but like, there's just so much happening. There's so many exciting things happening, but it's a slow process. But it's not. It is, but it isn't. Like, it was a slow process trying to figure out how to get these to grow. And I don't really know what I did, to be completely honest. I don't know what it was about this pot that made the moringa grow. I don't know if it was the other plants, the other seeds that were added into it. I don't know if it was the luck with the amount of sun that we got. I don't know if it's the amount of watering. I think it's the sun for sure. And I think that it's the kind of pot, like, this is a bamboo pot. And I think it's the water. I think it's a combination of a bunch of things. But something worked, something happened, and now things are growing that we thought couldn't grow. And I feel like that's a great symbol of what can happen overall, and perhaps what is happening. Something has happened unexpectedly. Something has worked that we didn't expect to work. Something has just happened in our favor. Something that's just a part of the natural world. Oh, that is us. And now, look at life. I think I'm gonna make more. I want to make an actual video just expanding on this message, because I think it's quite beautiful. And it's the full moon in Capricorn today, which I think is not for no reason. So I think I'm gonna expand on this message. I'm gonna go get showered and get ready, and then I want to really talk about the moringa seed and growing in unexpected places, and the aspect of luck, and the universe's will, and the earth's will, that all contribute into creating something. So yeah, but this is just more of a casual little chit chat, just showing you what's going on with the plants. I want to keep you guys updated on these. They're so cute, and they're so strong. Like, these are like, a lot of the growing process happened underground, because this is not like, these are strong roots. These are not just little baby roots. So you know that these are deep roots at this point. And this pot is this deep. It's not even like super, super deep. So, a lot is possible. But I'm going to go get ready, and then I'm going to come back, and, well, maybe I'll go somewhere, and then I'm going to make a longer video, or just a video more specifically talking about the moringa seed. And maybe what we'll do is, it would maybe be fun to kind of talk about the different seeds and the different plants and the messages that they have for us. So that can be, connecting with the nature spirits. So, yes. Okay, bye.